The days leading to elections in Nigeria are usually characterized by defection, alignment, and realignments. In a bid for candidates and political parties to get victory, less than 3 weeks to the conduct of the 2022 governorship election in Osun State, I beg your pardon, about 10,000 members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, have defected to the ruling All Progressive Congress in the states. The party chieftains who led others to defect include the factional state chairman of PDP, Wale Ojo, the running mate to the PDP candidate in 2018 governorship election in the state, Albert Adeogun, and a House of Representative aspirant in Ede Federal Constituency, Ayodele Asalu, and a party stalwart, Soji Ibikule. Let's share the story with you.
Mass defection of members of the People's Democratic Party into the APC fold in Osun State. They are former deputy governorship candidate of Ademola Adeleke in 2018, Albert Adeogun, former acting chairman of the PDP in the state, Wale Ojo, former lawmakers, among others. One after another, they speak on the motive behind their defection to the ruling APC.
Now it has been paid salary every month, fully paid. Not the situation where you pay 50% of salary to workers. You can see that our roads, there are improvements. Our schools, there are improvements.
Is the developmental stride undertaken by Governor Boyega Oyetola in developing Osun State.
I wouldn't want to brag too much. July 16th will tell you probably when you see the results or when you see the figures we are churning out in Ejigbo for His Excellency, you will discover that I'm not just coming into the party as a person, I'm coming as a movement.
The National Secretary of the APC, Iyola Mishori, says his target is to win July 16 governorship election.
We are preaching peace. We are going to vote. We are going to be peaceful. Our governor is very peaceful. Everybody is peaceful here. So we will not allow violence. We have another people to discuss the agencies to ensure that the maintain peace at all costs. So if votes you can't.
To the chairman of the APC in the state, more people are still coming.
To move Osun State forward, we need people like them amidst us to move forward.
The governor, Adegboyega Oyetola, commended the defectors for taking right decision.
It's a way of telling everybody that APC is the party of the moment, the party of the people. I'm excited. It gives me more confidence that winning this election is, by the grace of God, certain.
APC flags were handed over to the defectors by the state governor. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.
Politicians doing their thing. It's like maybe 2 weeks or a little bit, some days, more than 2 weeks to the election in Osun State. And the dominant parties, just PDP and the APC, and we are seeing this. What do you make of this?
Well, it's interesting. Interesting times. APC is doing its own. PDP is also out there telling people that APC faithful are defecting to its side. Yes, it's interesting. You see, politics should be without bitterness. It should be about interest, win the people and all of that. But I find it very disturbing, the way some of these people, politicians, just feel no qualms about just jumping from one place to the other. A running mate, that means if the governor had won, if that man had won, if Adeleke had won, he would have been deputy governor and he would have defected. I think we should, over time, begin, put more principles into politics. It's not just about personal interest. There should be, because it's a lot of these things, you find a lot of these people who defect. At the end of the day, when they can't get what they want, they move again. Some even move around up to 3, 4, 5 political parties. And how does it help their followers? How are the lives of their followers improved by this jumping ship? I don't know.
4 years ago, it was like a neck-on-neck thing between PDP and APC. This election even went into, runoff. If you remember, it was it was a big battle between the two same candidates. That's Ademola Adeleke for the People's Democratic Party and Governor Boyega Oyetola for the All Progressive Congress. Now, 4 years down the line, has anything changed?
A lot of things have changed.
Okay.
The neck-to-neck that we spoke about 4 years ago was about the incumbents then grudgingly campaigning for the candidate of the party.
Grudgingly.
I use that word with some reservations anyway. It was also about some of the bigwigs in the state, including Iyiola Omishore, being in the opposition at that time, strengthening the PDP to a large extent. It was also about the fact that it was a transition from one governor to another, not the sitting governor contesting. Because every sitting governor has a better hold on not just his party, but on the people of the state. An outgoing has already lost some of his crowd, some of his supporters, because the perks that they expect that they can further get is no longer there. So the scenario has changed a lot now in Osun State. It is not likely, from my reading of the situation, that it can be that close again in Osun State. It is not very likely, because you can see what is happening. The PDP is losing followers.
Due to internal wrangling.
Due to internal wrangling, which was not as pronounced as it is now 4 years ago. So I don't see a close contest as it was then. I don't see it. I don't expect it.
I will ask you the same question. Do you see anything like we experienced 4 years ago when we had to even go for a runoff?
I already predicted the day after the APC primaries in Osun State that Governor Oyetola will be re-elected. It's going to be re-elected, and I suspect that he will be re-elected with an audacious margin. The PDP still retains some strength in Ede North and South, Obokun, Oriade. But I don't think they can give the APC the kind of assault that they gave the APC the last time. Since 1999, the PDP had not won in Ifelodun. That is Ikirun. But they won in 2018. But I don't see them winning there this time around. Of course, that local government is very close to Borikwe, which is the local government of the governor. The governor, no doubt about it, has done some work, and more people are happy with him. Then, don't also forget that Ife, that the APC had always found it difficult to do well in because of the presence of Omishore.
Yes, it's not the national secretary of
the
the
bulk
party.
of these people, yes, the bulk of these people, almost 10,000 of them that have defected, are Omishore's supporters. They always, once Omishore is on the ballot or is backing a particular candidate, Ife always supports wherever Omishore is. Acts
It seems to be a big factor, this Iyiola Omishore, I remember 4 years ago.
Difficult. I mean, it's not been possible to stop the APC. So I think that what we've seen is a clear sign that the PDP will be blown out of water. And I'm just saying the truth. So people will see clearly at the end of the day that is the truth that I'm saying. The PDP candidate has to do much better than simply dancing at every opportunity. He has to show the people what he's got. The people are not asking for a dance. They are asking for what you've got. What have you got to offer them? Do you have the capacity? Can you do better than the incumbent? If you can't do better than the incumbent, then they will tell themselves that there's no reason to vote for you. You are not simply going to impress them by dancing at any opportunity. No, it takes much more than that to impress people.
Can't you see this going like for the highest bidder? Because I've seen a campaign in Osun State, the man that was accused to, and he was campaigning and he was telling them that, look, there's naira, there's dollar, there's pound sterling, there's money. And from the trend we saw in Ekiti State, do you see that trend continuing?
Well, unfortunately, poverty has been is a major determinant in elections in Nigeria. Politicians throw money around, and some of these so-called political heavyweights, are just can swing around when there's money with them. But by the time their purses start drying and the favors are not coming anymore, you see them tilting in the direction of where things are likely to flow. That is the direction of the governor. So just like you said, yes, I know there will still be incidences of vote buying. EFCC said he arrested some people, but where are they? Where are the people he prosecuted? Who was convicted? So all of these things just give people the idea that, politicians will continue with their antics any which way.
It seems that, look, from what we saw in Ekiti, I don't think Osun State will be different. Will he go to the highest bidder?
Yeah, well, like Emeka said, we all keep watching how these things pan out. Because money for votes has gone sophisticated now. So if you vote for me, I must see the evidence before I pay you. Indeed, if that did not happen in Ekiti, where the opposition was accused of having spent so much money, then we must give it to the voters that it appears we are getting better with our conscience in terms of casting our votes. Because these days, you don't pay up front.
Really?
They don't pay up front a lot of times. You pay after you have voted and there is evidence that you delivered. So let's wait for what happens in Osun. Let's see if...
Julie, I witnessed something very, very sad too, that when they get to the polling unit, they collect their ballot papers and after thumb printing, they have their smartphone with them, they just snap it. Quickly, this will happen under 5 seconds. They'll just thumb print and they'll snap it. So I think that's the evidence that Dikbo is talking about.
Yes, and apart from that, the cubicles are not high enough. So politicians plant their agents to spy at who you are voting for because the cubicles are quite low. And that was why INEC said it was looking at redesigning the voting cubicles so that they can provide some secrecy for the voter. The way it is now, they are low. So even if they give you money up front, some of them give money up front. In fact, they sometimes distribute money on the eve of the election. Many parties do that now. They go around on the eve of the election to give money. And we saw the Yaga report complaining that even the campaigns for Osun are already characterized by distribution of money and food items. So they will come give you money, but they also want to see
Evidence.
clearly. They want to be sure that you voted for them. So the cubicles allow them to be able to spy on the voter. In any case, some of the security agents work hand in hand with these politicians. So I've talked in the past about a policeman helping to distribute money to voters on the queue. You know, so it's they have all kinds of tricks. It's not in all cases that you must show them who you have voted for. In any case, INEC has said people should not go to polling centers with their phones. So why should people go to polling centers with their phones, as we saw in Ekiti? So where people are not allowed to go to polling centers with their phones, they have other means of verifying that you indeed voted for them, even if you're taking money from them. It's becoming more and more sophisticated. In Ekiti, the election before the last, they transferred money to people. They sent money to people electronically. Have we forgotten?
Yeah,
I remember.
So it's just getting worse.
we are getting better.
Getting worse.